What's up? What's up, good people? It's your baby J Jack in the building. Got my sis Crystal in the building. Thawed magazine. You know what it is. Special guest. We gonna let him introduce himself. He really don't need any introduction, especially in Saginaw. Brother been doing his thing down there, and he got more things planned on coming through. We always kick it, sports talk, all that. You know what I'm saying? Saginaw in the building. Go ahead and tell him what it is, Rahmaan. Can you hear me?
Am I coming through? I have my mic off. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I hear
It's my name is Rahmaan Kelley.
Rahmaan Kelley.
50% owner of all the businesses that we do, alongside my brother Hashim Kelley. He's not here today for this particular platform, but we got a lot of things going on. We have a bar and grill here in Saginaw, Blu Note Lounge and Grill. We have a group home that we converted into a placement agency, and we own about 11 properties as far as rentals and things of that nature. We're expanding in all three of those. We're expanding this year in all three of them, and adding another business possibly by September of this year, Lord willing.
Oh, that's dope. What up with you, sis? I see you over there. What's good?
Oh, nothing much, man. Enjoying this good hot summer day. Well, I can't say summer, but spring day down here in Georgia.
No doubt. What you think? You want to pop off the first question? You heard my brother tell you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna get into? You want to start it off?
Yeah. So let's start it off like this. So, how did you begin, or what made you decide to want to get into becoming an entrepreneur? Like, where did this shift? Where the shift came in at?
Well, honestly, it's always been there. I mean, even since I was a little guy, anybody from who grew up with me would know this. My first hustle was I used to sell Hostess cupcakes. My dad was a distributor for Hostess, so he would bring in the access to the home, that wouldn't sell or stuff like that, or he over ordered, whatever the case may be. I took him to my elementary, Jesse Loomis, had him in my locker. True story. I used to sell them for $0.25 a pop, and I wasn't paying anything for them. So I'm selling ho-hos, Suzy Q's, ding dongs, Twinkies. I'm living good. Then I was selling them at my house. So right then and there, I understood, how business worked and the profit margin worked, even in elementary school. Like they say on the wire, you know what I'm saying? Would say buy for $1, sell for $2. So
yeah.
that's where it started. That's where it originated. That's where it was lit. That's where the flame was lit at when I was a kid. As I grew older, life made me do it. I worked for Delphi. I was a supervisor for Delphi. General Motors, they closed down. I went back, got my master's degree, so I had to do something. And then that's when I was like, it's now or never. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, that's dope. Yeah, so I'm gonna add the next one. Shout out to Cedric Walker Simmons, and shout out to anybody that's rocking with us, man. You know what I mean? Y'all could have chose anything to do in the world, and you're rocking with us tonight. So we appreciate you for that. Salute. You know what I mean? My brother, now you went to college. You also went to Saginaw High, right?
Class of 95. Sweet black and gold.
Sweet black and gold.
Right on.
Now tell me what the process was when you were choosing a college, and was it pertaining to what you was already starting in elementary with? Was it all a continuation?
I made a post right before I got on here. Yeah. And I said I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This isn't anything scripted. You and I didn't rap and have these pre-questions and all that kind of. So this is very
everything
is real.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, when I was coming out of high school, college was not on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was still an entrepreneur, if you know what I mean. I wasn't doing it the right way. I wasn't legal. You know what I mean? So I was out here doing things, just keeping up with what had went down through my family that I seen in my neighborhood. It was all about trying to acquire a dollar, and it didn't matter how you got it. It's just to get it. What kind of slowed me down on that and got away from that lifestyle, which I wasn't rich by any means. I wasn't, I wasn't out here like Frank Lucas or nothing like that. But what changed me is my mother, she got saved. My dad found out kind of what I was doing. I never seen him cry. I saw him cry at my grandfather's funeral at 11 years old. It's the only time I seen my dad cry. Then I seen him cry when he found out I was doing things I shouldn't be doing. He felt that I was better at, I was a better man than that. So that shook me. And then I had my first child. So all those things kind of happened at once. It was perfect time, and it was God's time.
Perfect storm.
Yeah, it was. It was a perfect storm. I mean, it happened like boom, boom, boom. So when those three things happened, I made a decision to go. I was going to Delta, but I was taking the class here, taking the class there. Didn't really have a plan. After that happened, that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna take this Delta stuff serious. I had a girlfriend at the time who was at Michigan State. She was on me. She was trying to pull me away from Saginaw, like, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Said crazy.
You see him.
Said crazy. He was trying to get me up out of Saginaw because I used to go visit her down in East Lansing. So she helped me like with an application to go to Michigan State. I'm like, I do the application. I was like, it's whatever. I'm just doing it to be doing it. I'm still here at Delta. And I was working at Dow Corning in a co-op program. And lo and behold, I get accepted at Michigan State. I'm like, really?
Like what?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I got accepted at Eastern Michigan. So she was on me. My counselor was on me. The day I had to go to the East Lansing, I was in the neighborhood chilling with my partners, doing everything. The counselor, Teresa Stitt, I love you, Teresa, pulled up on the block. I was like, what are you doing out here? Get your stuff together. You got to go. Man, I packed up in like a couple hours and shot down to East Lansing. And then from there, once I got the taste of that college life, I was already getting focused. It was a wrap. It was like, let's go.
Now, what year did you go? What was your freshman year at State?
97? You was there in 94? I just come down there all the time. Like I said, my girl was down there. So I was down there introducing them folks to Saginaw, things, our culture, and all that kind of stuff.
Saginaw was deep down there. We had at least 10 people going that class in 94.
Man, real deep. They was real deep, man. So I would come down there and party and do other things and open up. I had a whole new network clientele down there. So the transition was easy. But I did a year or two at Delta. So it was like 97, 98, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but it was a couple years after I graduated high school, though.
Yeah. Okay. Sis, what you got?
Question for you. How do you market your business, and what tactics have you been much successful with?
Well, you know what? We all have this social media thing that we use, this platform that we use. I don't do Snapchat as much, although a lot of our customers do Snapchat. My daughters, and I'm still getting hip to it, but I don't do it as much. But they out there, they be in the club on Snapchat. I don't even be knowing people be coming in. I saw y'all on Snap. I was like, okay. But I do word of mouth. I still do the old school way. Definitely social media. But one thing I use this social media platform. I'll inbox somebody, I call somebody, and then I go on my posts and ask them what do they like. I like to get buy-in from the people you're trying to cater to, so they can feel like they vested in, that their thoughts and opinions mean something. And we just had like a sip and paint the other day, and it was successful, but that was getting buy-in from the people. So I always ask them, what do you like? What if we brought this here, do this? Is these some of the types of things you support? That's probably the number one and most effective way for us in this small town.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, those sipping paints and trapping paints and nude and paints, like all those are kind of blowing up all over now.
And that's all.
They heard about that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's new. Okay. That's how they get down to what? Atlanta, huh?
Yeah, they do.
I believe. Somebody called me. They just hit me up. They was like, they want to do a puff and paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, smoking weed and stuff like that, it isn't as stigmatized, even though it's legal, but it's not stigmatized as much as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's widely accepted, and they want to do that there, a puff and paint. So I got to check out the legalities of it because I got a liquor license, but that's what they want to do here. They beating down my door for this puff and paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right.
Yeah, everything creative, man. Just keep creating.
Right.
my question is, was the Blu Note one of your first businesses, like legally, like paperwork wise and everything? And
no,
like, what made you want to do with the Blu Note?
No, it wasn't. We owned a group home for maybe 4 years. And that was taking kids who've been kicked out the system or been abused, neglected. And we taught them, we still do that. We just don't do it on paper. I got some teenagers I'm going to pick up tomorrow. And these are some of the teenagers like in the hood who out there talking about who they ops is and all that kind of stuff. Those are the ones we cater to because that's where we from. So we had a group home for about 3.5 years where we took in kids who were neglected, abused, homeless, and stuff like that, or adjudicated, has been through the criminal justice system, and we help change their lives. I'm probably more proud of that than anything business.
That sounds like that's what people don't know. They might see the Blu Note, and they might see you out there. Your videos. I seen one video you was addressing some haters. What I mean? They might see those things, but they're not getting the full view. And that's one thing why we here right now. Is try to get them a little more knowledge and understanding.
Yeah, they don't. And my brother's a big driver on that. Shout out to Hashim Kelley. But
shout out Hashim.
We taking kids from, these kids is in the hood and they got enemies on the other side. We go holler at their enemies and stuff like that. We make them sit down. We do conflict resolution, talk to them. A lot of times they grandmothers and these particular grandmothers are friends and stuff like that. So we do a lot of that behind the scenes. We don't talk about it. We're not ones to trying to get pats on the backs or looking at these kids as funding opportunities, like let's get a grant off of them or something like that. We just sitting up here trying to change lives and stuff like that. And that's what we've been doing. But the Blu Note came from this how the Blu Note popped up. I used to go down to Detroit and used to party a lot in Detroit when I was young. And them boys used to dress down there. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like 19, 20. And they in their Gators and Dobbs and stuff and these were some younger cats. So I love that. And I used to go to cabarets down in Detroit. So I started doing cabarets in Saginaw. But even when I would go out in Saginaw, I go to the Limelight. Man, I throw me on a 3-piece or tux, and I everywhere I go, I was putting clothes on. I don't care where I was going. If it was an outing, I was going because I had to present myself as a billboard, as a poster child, as this is what I want to embody. So I kept myself together like that, and it started with throwing cabarets, parties. I did an Apollo. I did a concert with a Genuine, Tank, John B. All that, and then I used to do them at the French Quarters downtown. I said, you know what? I need to have my own establishment. Start small, but have my own establishment instead of going to people. Hey man, let me do this as a promoter. Let me do this. I could bring this. I could bring.
I remember when you was promoting. Yeah, I remember that.
So I was like, let me have my own. So that's what we did.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
Huge accomplishment. I thought about dipping off into the I said that's a huge accomplishment. I thought about dipping off into the residential group home era. In Michigan actually. Was planning on to come there and open up a few.
Yeah.
So I think that's
more. We still need more. We need them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get with you on the sideline about that because I think that's a good thing for our community.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And you tell how many of the boys come to the group home or how they become part of the group home.
Yeah, we get referrals from the state of Michigan, from DHS, Department of Health and Human Services. We get calls from different, like Hawthorne out in Livonia, different institutions and stuff like that would just call and say, hey, you got a bed available. Then we have to take them to the process because we got paid for this. Don't get me wrong, it's
a business.
It's a business.
It's still a business.
So we got paid and we made sure our rate was we was getting paid what we were worth because we were we were doing stuff that these other, I'm not saying no names, institutions, residentials. We was taking kids to Michigan State. I was teaching these kids. I was putting these kids in music classes, teaching them how to speak a foreign language, teaching them. I had them in electrical classes, all that kind of learning sign language. So we weren't just having them here so they can get some clothes on, go to bed, and we get money off these boys. We was giving them assets, skills, and stuff like that. So once they leave, they was better off than what they were when they got here. They were more marketable. They were employable. We sent kids to Delta College. We got kids right now who are working that went through our program that come back to us all the time. And and just tell us these stories of the things that they do. And not all of them made it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how it is. They come from broken homes and so many challenges.
Yeah, it's still so much to fight. Yeah.
But when we would get them, they would test us at first. We didn't have no choir boys. Hey, we was getting these boys from Detroit. Some of us from here, these were some big dudes. So we had to lay down the law, you know, and let them know what time it was. But once we kind of got through that phase, man, they'd do anything for us. Once they realized we loved them, you know what I mean, and care for them, man, they'll go through a wall for us. Still will.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. You
let's talk about story. That's a blessing.
What is?
Oh, I said when you can create a success story, that's a blessing.
Feels good.
Oh yeah.
Feels good.
It's still being written.
Still good.
Being written.
Yep.
Yeah. And salute to everybody that's watching with us, man. We appreciate y'all. We got 4 viewers on right now. Leave some comments. Shout out Sid Walker Simmons, bro. Much love. You'll be able to also listen to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We had a podcast on there. You can go on there right now, listen to any of the interviews we had, you know. And right now, we're going to get back into the interview. And what I would like to know is that first year or that first day, around in that first time when you created, or you and Hashim, you and your brother was creating the group home, what was y'all thoughts? Like, what did y'all want to go with it before y'all even had anybody, any kids to work with?
Hashim was more the driving force behind that. He was the engine on that because we had worked in residential. Hashim had worked in residential much longer than I had. I think I worked in residential at a facility for about a year and a half, and then I went on to work for Delphi as a supervisor. But we were always mentoring. I mean, we've been doing that because our dad used to do it to cats from my neighborhood or cats who weren't from my neighborhood. Pops used to invite the fellas over, have pizza. We had basketball tournaments in our backyard. Pops he would bring me together with cats. We was bumping heads or whatever, and it could have been deadly, you know, dad us, rap with us, you know, kick it with us and stuff like that. So we've been doing that from day one. But Hashim actually worked for like for probably about 15 years in residential. So he was he knew how to write the programs and what the consequences were and what their goals were going to be, the age limit, how to separate kids. He do this like he knew how to gauge their personalities just by talking to them for a couple of minutes. He'd be like, okay, he's not ready for this. Our home is out here in the township, and y'all already know we in a.
They waiting for something to go on.
What's understood don't need to be said. They was out here trying to protest when we opened up, man. It was crazy, and all we was trying to do was help our children out. So, but so Hashim was like, no, that's not a good fit. You know, he was just excellent at that. So with us having, and then working in residential at the facilities that we worked at, we would see a lot of kids come through, and when they leave, they get locked back up. Some of them died. You know, I mean, Hashim would be like, man, I was just talking to this kid, and he was going to do this, that, and the third, and he's gone. So that's what really, that was the springboard for us to get into it. Like, man, all these cookie cutter programs out here talking about they helping kids do this and do that, when these kids is really just a dollar sign and a meal ticket for these people. Let's get into the real, which is what we do, and give them some real game, some real life experiences, and stuff like that. And that's what we did.
Yeah. And that's dope. That's dope. That's like I say, I know about a lot of things. I knew y'all had the group home, but I didn't know all the details. I know. It
was a struggle just to get it off the ground, man. Don't get us wrong. It was a challenge. I ain't even just talking about this subdivision.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That struggle. Tell us more about that struggle.
Anytime you're dealing with bureaucracy and you're dealing with government, because you know we were regulated and we had to have it's a lot of red tape that you got to go through when you're working with the government, you're working with the state.
Yeah. So make it easy.
They don't. So even the wording in our guidelines had to be like, for instance, I'll just give you a quick example. We bought my mom and dad a house because this was their home. The home I'm in right now that we turned into a group home. We believed in so much, we kicked mom and daddy out. They was with it. They came and stayed with me. Man, hey, I said, my dad, we're gonna turn this house to a group home. We'll pay this house off. We're gonna buy y'all another house. Yeah. They was tired of going up and downstairs anyway. So they came and stayed with me, man. Those 6 or 7 months till we got them, it was hard. I felt like I was a teenager all over again. Oh, daddy drinking all my orange juice, wearing all my Michigan State stuff. I was like, shit, we gotta get daddy to a house quick. Dad, it was really my dad. He was just doing everything, man. Letting my dog out, just letting my dog run around. He ain't watching my dog. Like, man, we gotta get Pops about here. So we end up getting them a home. But the story is when we bought them, when they got their home, it has a pool. It has an in-ground pool. So we had some kids from the group home who wanted to go swim. I was like, no, we ain't gonna go swim. We'll swim at the Y where they got lifeguards. They was like, when they called my mother and father, grandma and granddad. So they wanted to come pick up the rocks around the pool and plant flowers. Because we was teaching them how to garden, how to grow their own food, right?
That's what's
so
up.
I said, get on mama them garden. Anybody want to do it, it's volunteer. Y'all don't have to do it. If not, y'all can go for a home visit. But if y'all come do it with us, we're gonna go out to eat and buy y'all some clothes and put some money in your pocket. Boom, boom. So we did that in this new neighborhood, this other subdivision. So somebody from that subdivision said, there's a Charles and Rose Kelley open arms van here, and it's like 8 kids, black kids. It's like 8 kids, and they're all over the neighborhood. They didn't even know that we owned that house, that we just bought that house. You know, thank God, no mortgage or nothing. We bought that house for my mom and daddy. You know what I'm saying? So this is our crib. So they don't even know that it was just crazy. So the state calls me and said, hey, what are you doing over there? I had to go, what you mean what I'm doing over here? This is my house. What you doing? Where you at? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had to go that way with him. So I said, we over here, we enjoying ourselves. Kids, we planting flowers in the garden. I said, don't ever question me on what I'm doing at my house. You know, I was really ticked off. So he wrote a report that a report was written, you know, and I get it now. I didn't understand it at the time that we had children doing work for my parents like they were indentured service. And they wanted
to turn it into some
they turned it into something nasty, man. So it was just little stuff like that. But I understood it. If we were going to do something like that, I understand it now. It has to be in writing. It has to be in program writing. What are the values and the assets? But these kids just wanted to go over there and play in the neighborhood and plant flowers and show my mother and father how they learned how to garden their own food and start their own garden. That's all they wanted to do.
That's all they want to do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges that we had that people don't know about. Just stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I bet that's like daily probably too.
Yeah, man.
Daily. You always have to even watch for something.
Hey Jack, but we rep though. I take my little 8 boys from here, but we be all in the township. We going to basketball games, the Heritage. Y'all gonna see us. We was every the little township hall meetings. We was popping up.
Hey, that's what
we was like, what's up, y'all? What's up?
Man, that's what's up. I remember the times we couldn't even really go to the townships, 80s and 90s. So
right.
That's
right.
dope.
But they did. They came around and started showing us some love. It took a minute, but they came around.
Yeah. That's. I mean, and it's hard, but sometimes you got to show people, even if you don't want to show those. I hate to say type of people that's really trying to make it hard for you.
Yep.
But eventually, sometimes they come around and they make it. They might, help you.
Yeah.
And it comes full circle sometimes.
We had to open their eyes, and that's what we did. We humble enough to understand that they didn't see us. They don't see young black boy. They hear about us on MLive and stuff like that, and they in this fishbowl. So they think that they had this perception, and not all, but some. So we had to come and show them what time it was, and that and they learned. So to me, we were educating the boys that we had, and we were educating some people around in this community who looked at them as a threat or something other than teenage boys who had a rough time. But if you give them the assets and things around them, an environment that's conducive to positivity, they can be productive people just like anybody else. So
exactly,
that's what that was about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's dope too. That's man. I know a lot of people don't even know that, but like I said, they know the things that they see or the posts and stuff. So you getting to here, man. That's dope. That's dope. And you're helping the community.
Yep. They see the glory, but they don't be knowing the story. They don't know the stuff behind.
Right. The doors you had to keep down to get there.
Yeah, for real.
There you go.
I had to leave. I was working for the state of Michigan. Actually, I didn't even mention that. I was working for the state of Michigan. I was in Wayne County. I was in Detroit. I was working for the state, making a pretty good salary. And they came to me, the state came to me like, Kells, you're going to either have to work with us or you're going to run your group home. But it was other people who had group homes who worked for the state. You know what I'm saying? So that's when your faith kick in and stuff like that. Like, what you going to do, Rahmaan? You going to work where you get a guaranteed paycheck and a nice benefit, stuff like that? Or you going to come run this group home and chase your dreams and open up a bar and open up, you know, this laundromat that we working on, all this other stuff, what you going to do? So I left a decent job, you know what I'm saying? And that I could have elevated and went a little further to come and follow, chase my dream.
Yeah, it was time for you to take your leap. It was your season, so
right.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Sis, what you got?
Yeah, so do you believe that there is some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur?
Well, I think every path, every situation, I believe is different. You know, we have challenges here because we're in a small town. A lot of people know each other or think they know each other and stuff like that. There's a certain population, a certain group of people that don't want to see you advance, you know, or as soon as you have a slip and fall, they like, see, I told you, I knew it. I would have did it this way or that way. I would say, follow your heart. When you falling is a part of success. You are supposed to fall. You're supposed to fail. It's supposed to be tough because if it wasn't tough, anybody would do it. So to get to it, you got to go through it. But just don't give up. You know, just keep pushing and believing in what you believe in, and don't try to prove. You know, I would say this here. I think some of us are motivated to prove somebody else wrong, or to say, "Aha, look at me, I did it. I did it. Now what?" You know, to throw it in people's face and stuff like that.
Right.
I heard who was that? Judge Jackson say success is the greatest revenge. So you don't have to do all that. So if your motivating factor is to taunt someone or show them how we did it, then you're losing focus on what you want to do. I don't worry about that. I don't even care about that. You know what I'm saying? My focus is my goal and how do I get there and what's the best way to get there. And I think that's what you got to stay focused on that. And it's going to come with some hardship. It's going to come with some denials. I got denied a lot. Yeah. You know, and my vision, and I just felt it would work. I knew it would work, but I got tired of going to these folks. You know what I'm saying? Going to the banks, going to these big business owners and stuff like that. I used to be in a group. We would go sit around table, all these business owners and stuff like that. And I would say, Savalti, shout out to Savalti. I understand it. It was great.
Yeah, I remember. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but I was sitting there the whole time like, it's the scene in Young Guns. I can't think of the guy's name, but Billy the Kid was like, who was that? Such and such. I don't know if it was Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh. I can't think of it, but he was like, I'm gonna be big just like him. He was like, matter of fact, I'm gonna be bigger. And it wasn't a cocky thing, but I just didn't want to go around kissing people's rings and stuff like that. Not saying that that's what that group was about, because it wasn't. But I got tired of going to these banks and going to these business owners and stuff like that, these investors, telling them I'm a product of this community. I'm telling them what can work, trying to sell to them what I know will work. And they're not from here. And I have to, and they're not connected here, but I got to prove to them what will work in this area that I'm from, you know. And I got tired of that. I got tired of it. Yep.
Right. It's always hard to sell somebody your dreams.
Right. And I understood where they was coming from because they weren't connected to the community like that. And I was telling y'all, I was like, yo, this can work. This can work. Even with our group home, I was trying to get some funding for that. So, but God pulled me away from that. Me and Hashim buckled down, put our coins together and said, you know, let's quit going to all these other folks. Let's stay locked in and make it work with what we got. And that's what we did. It took longer, but it was working. It was working.
Right.
Yep. And now we don't owe nobody. We don't know.
Say that's yours. The big thing. You say you don't owe nobody.
Not at all. You owe no man but the love. That's it.
And only growing, because I remember back in the days, I mean, especially when you was kind of like growing the Blu Note, because I don't think that where it's at right now, I don't think was your first location, right?
No, that was it. It was we had a building before that. You really, you know your history. We did have a building before
you know it.
Yep. We had a building before that, but we chose not to go there. And then that's when we came to where we was at now, which is across the street from next year. But you are correct. We did have a place before that. Yep.
Yeah,
we just never opened it up. We never opened it up or anything like that.
Up and got it going. Yeah, I remember when, especially I think you had Tony Tatum in there. This was years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Shout out to
shout out Tony. You know what I'm saying. Shout out Tony Tatum. Man, because with the Blu Note, I remember when you wasn't getting as much the support that you know what I'm saying felt we all feel as a business we should deserve. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And now, a lot of times you see stuff at Blu Note or go viral in Saginaw, especially, or even outside of Saginaw. How does that make you feel? To see now people saying Blu Note, and it's a lot of younger people too.
Yes, a lot of younger people, man. And I'm very thankful for them. That's another thing that I think this town kind of like, they call them kids. Why you having kids in there? I was like, well, that go back to the group home and the kids that we cater to. Because I was once a kid buying bottles in the club. And when you're younger, you got disposable income and less responsibilities. You ain't got to be up as early in the morning. You ain't got a house full of kids. You don't get tired as quick. You ain't ready to go to bed and all that kind of stuff as early. So it just makes sense as a business model to open it up to that. But you want to cater to the older, more mature crowd too. So you got to kind of mix it up. But when I see that, we take a lot of. We're thankful, we're humble, but we're still hungry. Like the Blu Note, God bless it, but that's not where that's just a means to get to where, just like the group home was a means to get to the Blu Note. The Blu Note is a means to get to these other two, things that we're about to open up this year. So that's what that is, and then hopefully it can run it on its own and be its own and stuff like that. Then when we move to next, that'll be, stomping grounds for us to grow and do the other things that we want to do. So we're always pushing. We're never satisfied. We're never like we made it or we've arrived or anything like that. I'm still paying my consumer bill, my water bill, all that kind of stuff. So we never feel like we made it or look at us now. Although we're in a pretty decent
situation. Just going to keep pushing. That's all.
Man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry like I'm still eating bologna sandwiches, cold bologna sandwiches and mayonnaise. I'm syrup sandwiches. I still have that hunger from that kid growing up on 4132 Randolph. I still have that hunger.
Still have that, no doubt. Yep. And we want to say shout out to everybody that's watching with us, man. If y'all leave a comment or names, we shout you out. And matter of fact, that leads me to Said. I don't want you to make Said mad, bro. You see what that say on the screen?
You didn't answer
my. He ain't answer his question.
What's your question, Said?
I think this was it right here. I think that was it.
You got a problem playing West Coast music.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
That's my guy. Hey,
man,
I want to hear the answer because Said want to know.
All right, check this out. I'm gonna just tell you about Said. Said, that's my guy for a long, long time.
Oh yeah,
long time. He is like this. He thinks in his mind, seriously. He think he's from the West Coast. He think he's from the West Coast. He think he's part of Death Row. He think he's an outlaw. So
hey, that's my guy too, man. I'm glad Said that popped in when we interviewed. Me and Crystal interviewed SKG, and she was from Death Row. Said, "Whoa,
right."
You know what I'm saying? Because we did some things people ain't doing in Saginaw. We Saginaw, we still rep Saginaw, even though we're in Arkansas and Atlanta.
Yeah,
and, you name people that had SKG in or Death Row artists or Direct that's with Twister.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And the artists that we bring to the light of just everywhere that we can, especially Saginaw, because they look at Saginaw when we do that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Said, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Said. I'm very proud of you, by the way. You too, Chris. I'm very proud of y'all, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yep, I know your grind. I know how long you've been pushing for this, and it's gonna keep growing and getting better and bigger and better, bigger and bigger. But
much love.
But Said, to answer your question, if you wouldn't put Bad Boy Killer in there, because I'm a Biggie fan. I'm like number one. I'm the biggest Biggie fan ever.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's what we crossed right there. So I tell Said the West Coast had it from like 89 to 94. And when Biggie dropped from 95 until his demise and Jay-Z took it over, it's been the East Coast that had it. So then the South came in for a minute. We'll play a little West Coast in there.
Yeah. Said I'm for real.
Yeah,
I'm tired of going to the Blue Note, not playing West Coast music. So he gonna be on you about that, bro.
the boy really, the man thinks he's from California.
Yeah, I remember all the battles with him and Polo and anybody that said him and Marco and
Marco.
Anybody that screamed bad boy, they was in trouble.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you, Sid. Much love, bro. And that brings me to sports talk, and that's one of our sports talk brothers, man. And you know, in sports talk, you known for saying some weird, some weird stuff, bro. Now I wanted to address the Ohio State thing. Why, bro? And you're a Michigan State alum, bro. I had to go there.
Absolutely. Even my cup sparked out there. But
when you say Ohio State, is that just to piss them off, or you really just repping Ohio State, bro?
This is why I like Ohio State. This is why. In the Big Ten, you got, Michigan. You got that contingency. You got Michigan State.
Yeah.
You're welcome. But especially here in Michigan. But what I'm saying is, to me, Michigan and Michigan State in football, all they talk about is the recruits they got coming in and winning the Big Ten. It's never to win the national championship. To me, I never hear that. They always talk about the recruits or the coaches who they hire. Ohio State, they play to win a national championship every year. They don't just talk about winning the Big Ten titles and all that kind of stuff and who had the number one recruiting class. So I just like Ohio State because they're the only one in our Big Ten that can go against Alabama and all these other, LSU, Clemson, and have a shot to knock them off. We go there. If Michigan go there, if Michigan or Michigan State go there, they just happy to be there, in my opinion, and they get smacked. To me, that's like a win to be in a championship game or the Final Four. I like Ohio State because they try to get the whole prize. So that's why I roll with them. And to piss y'all off. And to piss y'all off.
Because you do, bro.
I know.
All right. Us Spartan fans, us Spartan fans be in there clicked up. And we got in the Michigan fans, and here you come talking about Ohio State. We like, bro, you're an alum, bro.
I know, but this is what I don't like. This is what I like about Michigan State, and I went to school there.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah, let's take a basketball. Tom Izzo, he'll be a Hall of Fame coach. We won a championship in 2000. I was there. We won a championship in 2000. I never forget that. Kenyon Martin did break his leg for Cincinnati. If he ain't break his leg, we don't know what would have happened. But it's just like he coaches like three yards in a cloud of dust. He micromanages his team, in my opinion, his players. They yes sir, no sir, they become robots. So to me, it's not a fun they're not fun to watch, and I don't think they can go that far because he plays this old school, a guy make a mistake, pull him out, he's yelling at him. He's like very controlling of his team instead of letting his guys play like Juwan Howard does. Now, Juwan Howard,
I agree a little bit on that.
Juwan Howard. I'm not a Michigan basketball fan, but Juwan Howard lets his guys play ball, and I think that's going to help him in the long run. That's what Duke does. That's what Kansas does. So that's why I have a problem with. I just think we outdated, man. Our sports stuff is so outdated at Michigan State, and I love them, but it's just like Mike D'Antoni.
I think you try to run too many sets.
Huh?
Yeah. I think he tried to run too many sets. And
just micromanaging, And I,
they got to run it exactly how he wanted.
How he wanted, and that ain't, it's about him more than it is letting the players play ball.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. We're gonna go and get off them sports because we can talk sports all day. We're gonna have to have you on sports talk too. You know what I mean? Since you got something else for?
Yeah, because I don't.
That's why I shifted into it so we can get off sports. That's why I shifted to this.
Now I do love sports. Don't get me wrong. I'm football, love it. I'm a Saints fan. So so I love my sports, but I don't have a sports question today. Sorry. Okay, so my next question is, what entrepreneurial tricks have you discovered that help you to stay focused and productive on your day-to-day schedule?
Um, I try to surround myself with and I'm talking about my employees now, with people who care about what we're trying to do. Our employees don't know everything, like what's the next step or what's the next business model, because my brother and I keep that close to the vest, but they do trust us because they see us doing some trying times. So the core that we got now, I lean on them a lot. I get input from them a lot. There's some trust, and we had to go through employees too. We had to, some people just didn't cut it or wasn't a good fit, stuff like that. And they'll get on Facebook and be like, forget them, all that kind of stuff. But that comes with the territory. But
Right.
yeah, that comes with it. Even with our rental properties, when any tenant that we rent to, I let them know off top, like, we do evict if you're not paying your rent.
Right.
That is a part of what we do. If you're not paying on time, let them know up top. So, everything is good if they're a little bit behind and stuff like that. But as soon as you have to serve them their paperwork, then you're this, you're that, you're slumlord. But so we understand that comes with a part of business. But what we've done is our hiring process is more strict right now. We try to bring in quality people, not people just looking to get paid. And if you got a good team around you, that's gonna make you look great. And I tell them all the time, I work for y'all. Y'all don't work for me. What can I do? Yeah. What can we provide for you guys to make sure your job is effective and it's easy, and stuff like that. And the bottom line will be positive because of it. So getting good people around you. If you're an entrepreneur, you run your own business, because you're going to be your own worker for a while. But once you start bringing people in, you want to bring quality people in. And that's what we've learned by having some people who were not great quality and having some people that did bring great quality. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Right.
A learning process too.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I learned. Yeah, we learned.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna learn to the day you die.
Yep, right on.
Yeah.
Salute.
And shout out everybody, man. I always want to shout out the people, man. And I see some shares too. Appreciate you sharing. Two-Way Tay, I see you, bro. Much love. Everybody
Two-Way Tay, what's up?
Liked. Yeah, man. Much love. Anybody sharing, commenting. And Two-Way Tay got his own podcast too. Y'all go check him out.
Yeah, he just sent me a friend request. I'm gonna pop at him. Oh, let me say this too, real quick. I want not to interrupt. My brother and I. One thing we can let y'all know, we have a podcast coming too, but we just been sitting on it for a while. But for all you guys who have these podcasts and these platforms and YouTube channels, we salute y'all. We cheering for y'all. We don't look at you guys as competition. I love to see.
No doubt.
I love to see my people win, excel. Even people who pray for our downfall and be backbiting and stuff like that. I want them to succeed. But you guys are very inspirational to us to see y'all go out, take a chance, step out on faith, win, lose, or draw, whatever. Y'all just put so much juice and energy and pour so much inspiration into us. So I'm super proud of y'all. And for anybody out there, whatever you're doing, keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.
Yeah,
And we're
pushing,
proud of
keep
y'all.
supporting.
Yeah,
absolutely. Man, don't get frustrated. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've bbeen doing this for 19 years and it don't come easy. That's the one thing. And as a godfather of media, I don't call myself that, but like a godfather type. Anybody in media, man, everybody know my door's open. Just hit me up in the messenger or whatever, you know what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing, especially the young fellas, man. I like that it's more media than it's ever been in Saginaw, especially because media is big. You know what I mean? That's how all these other cities get, man, they got people pushing them. You know what I mean? When they sleeping, there's somebody pushing them.
Right.
Absolutely. So salute on that. But we also gonna go into a little bit of, since you said it, your podcast. Now, what topics are you planning on touching on, or what is it centered around?
Current events, things that are trending, everybody talking about the Will Smith slap. That would probably been, something that, that we would have. Yeah, that's hot right now. So we are going to attack social issues. There's a lot of agendas out there that I feel that we get caught up in, and no matter where you sit politically or socially or whatever, we're going to address. We're going to talk about that stuff because if you have a stance or you feel a certain way, you can feel that way and still respect the other side, and the other side should be able to respect, to respect you and how you feel. You see what I'm saying? So we don't. Some things people don't talk about because we live in a cancel culture, and I'm not with all that. I am with being respectful and understanding of someone's position, but we're gonna let it fly. So when it's time to come to it, it's gonna be it'll be contentious sometimes because we're gonna address some stuff that's out there, some stuff that goes on in our community, some stuff that we do to put each other down, to keep each other down, stuff like that. We'll get into entertainment, sports, personal dating, marriage, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's good.
We
talk about stuff that people shy away from, most definitely, especially in our community. We need it.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna put it on the floor.
Yeah, get at me if anything, you need anything, holler at me on the podcast, or how to get on. I don't know, you know how to get on Apple and all that. If not,
all that, yep. We got a couple. That's what we're doing now, Jack. We're putting a team together. And you'll be a part of that, actually, to just helping us out with the research and getting started, and you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. So we didn't want to rush out. We could have did it probably a month ago, but we just we're building up our content, stuff we want to talk about. It's going to be different. Then everyone is different in how they, in a podcast and stuff like that. But we wanted to just, we didn't want to. You can mimic someone by not even trying. You know what I mean? By just So that's why I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching everyone and I'm supporting. But I want to see where I can kind of get our niche in to where it's a little different. Not so much better or I'm better than this, but it's just a little different. So we got some ideas lined up that we're gonna bring to the table when it's time.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's good. And there's nothing wrong. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no. Yeah, I was just gonna say I also want to share shout out Clarence Abbey, India Brazy. And I'm seeing quite a few shares. I see Space Age. Man, shout out to all of y'all. You know what I mean? Much love, salute. Anybody watching? If you didn't leave a question or a comment, we can't see who watching or the names unless you leave a comment. So if you want us, just mention your name, man. Much love to you. Appreciate you. Leave a comment, we'll know. Now the one got Thawed magazine go blue. I don't know if that might be Jeff, but he's using the Thawed magazine name, so I ain't gonna share that one. I ain't gonna post that one up there. But I see it down there.
Did you say Space was out there?
I seen Space on there. I see he reacted to the video, so I don't know if he's watching it right now, but I see I can see the reactions.
If you're out there, Space, if you out there, I will be getting with you. I promise, man. I supposed to got with him a long time ago. Life just been happening, but he brought some business to me and my brother's attention, and I cannot wait to connect with him. I cannot wait to connect with you, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. Space a good dude.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Sis, what you got? What you got over there? Got something cooking?
Oh, always. No, I'm just So what I was gonna say to piggyback off of kind of what he was saying, like it's okay to kind of look at this person and that person, their way of doing things. Because like me, I'm a life coach too on the side, so I do watch this life coach and that life coach. But then when you bring your own perception or your own flavor into it, it makes it your own. Even though you kind of took a piece of this person and a piece of that person, so it kind of makes your own. So, but my question is, like, what business-related book has like inspired you along the way to kind of do, because everybody got that one book they want to read that's kind of like, oh, okay, this is gonna help me, or this gonna give me that motivation or that push to keep going. Like, do you have a book that you read or that you recommend for anyone to read?
Yeah, I cannot call the author's name out right now. As soon as we're done with this, it's gonna come to me. Oh, I can see his face, but it's called Recognizing Your Potential. And he just talks. It's a African American man, black man. Oh, I cannot think his name, but it's Recognizing Your Potential. And It has a lot of it's spiritually based, but he goes on to talk about how you can have all the talent in the world. You know, you can have all the opportunities in the world, but if you're not prepared for that opportunity, if you don't see the potential and the greatness you have in yourself, then you're going to live beneath of what you could ascend to be. So, and I just love it. He was like, all these billionaires and millionaires, or what we deem as successful, they had the potential, but they worked their potential. You know, they didn't sit on it. They didn't rest on their laurels. They didn't, like the Bible said, they didn't bury their talents. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all have a potential to do something, no matter what it is, but it's kind of up to us to bring it out and to work it through. So when I read that book, Recognizing Your Potential, it just confirmed everything that I'd already believed and stuff like that. But to see it in text and reading, I was like, wow. I'm like, this brother talking to me. That's what I'll be saying. That's how I feel it. I'm not an avid. I used to read a lot, but I keep it real. I'm not an avid book reader, but I'm getting more back into that. But that's one of them that definitely inspired me and confirmed everything that I felt already.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. You never know what words can do sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, another one is Nathan Mccall. This is an old school book, Makes Me Want to Holler. That's a good read because I connected with him. That had nothing to do with business. That had to just do with a black man. I think he grew up in DC, selling drugs and going through this, that, and other that some of us went through back in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. And he was able to, I think he started writing for the Washington Post. He was able to come through out all that stuff that he had been through. So that had nothing to do with business. That had to do with everything with surviving and perseverance and having intestinal fortitude to push through. So that's probably the most important book that I've read.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. You ever thought about it yourself? Book writing?
Yep, I have. I used to write notes, memoirs. I used to be recording, So I've thought about it. I've thought about I've even thought about this here. Instead of doing just like a self-help book or something like that, I wanted to put it because coming up, a lot of us rap. I used to rap when I was young. I still go freestyle. Don't get it twisted. I come off the top.
Don't do it. We're battle right here. Don't do it.
Yeah, we can battle right here.
Put him on the
The kids be tripping at school because I work for the school district too. So the kids be tripping, man. So because they listen to who they listen to. Ain't all that Dirk and Young Boy, all that stuff. Which is cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But when we was rapping, we enunciate. You knew what we was saying. You know what I'm saying? And we told a story. You hear what I'm saying? It wasn't just whatever. You know,
get laughed off the block if you don't. You can
right. They can get talked about. You get talked about. So I'll be freestyling to the youngest, and they be loving it. They be like, "Oh, Uncle Flo." But no, I thought about putting instead of putting something in a book, I thought about putting it in music. Working on. This is what we have been working on. We are working on this compilation. My brother and I. We can put that out there of a live album with hip hop, R&B, a little bit of gospel. But I thought about putting it in music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of life lessons and stuff like that that we want to put in this album that we're working on, that we've been writing for probably for about a year and a half now.
Oh, now you say album, huh?
Yeah.
What is it touching on? Hip hop?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I could let it out the bag.
Features? Cool.
I could come on with it. I'm gonna tell you one of the songs we got. Check this out. I'm gonna take y'all back. Crystal, you should know about this too. One of the songs we got, it's about 6.5 minutes. I ain't even wrote, and I don't write. I still be, I have to spit, then I write it down. But it's 6.5 minutes of some fellas we rapping, and it's no beat, but they beatboxing. So we rapping over man beatboxing, like we taking them old school all the way back.
Ready rock them type.
Oh, yes. So we beating on the table. We beating on the table too. So but we're doing some R&B, some hip hop. We're doing spoken word, doing some poetry. So it's like a gumbo.
Yeah.
It's a melting pot of all these different genres of music, and we're gonna put it together, and we're gonna drop it, and we're gonna let our band play too. We got a jam session with a band just kicking, So that's coming.
When tentatively titled, next year, somewhere
Probably
next year or
next spring.
You're aiming for? Okay.
Yep, next spring. That's what we're aiming for. So be on the lookout for
y'all
that.
heard that. Y'all heard that. Y'all keep y'all eye out for that.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Dope. Dope.
Yep.
That's
dope.
I'll
be looking for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, it's always good talking to you, my brother, man. I don't know if we touched on everything. Hopefully we did. If not, you got something else, before, because it's 7:00 now. We wanted to go a couple minutes past. I mean, we don't want to keep you, we know you're a busy man. No. Anything we ain't touch on you want to touch on?
No, man. I mean, you guys did a great job of covering what you covered. I appreciate that. Very proud of y'all. There's a lot of things that I could talk about, a lot of things we got coming up. So we'll just spoon feed it. And as things start to formulate and come out, we'll be apprised. We really don't. I like the stuff that I've talked about now, the album and stuff like that, the podcast. That's about it, because my brother and I are very tight-lipped. No, not knocking anyone, but once you put stuff out there, people can rail against it.
Once you put it in the universe.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't announce it. We just drop it. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That way it's stronger and it's there. So we got some things coming. I think you guys did a great job. Will Smith was wrong. He's dead wrong.
Don't do it.
I ain't gonna get on that.
Yeah. Don't you do it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But that was simp behavior. But no, that's about it, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
Much love. Much love. Yeah. We appreciate you too, bro. Salute. Crystal, you got anything you want to add in before we leave?
I appreciate you giving us this opportunity to interview you. I learned on this interview too, as well as enjoyed the interview and the information that you put out. I commend you for taking on the responsibility of raising some boys to be men.
Right.
So
right.
So I salute you and take my hat off to you for that. And to my social media world, don't forget to get my memoir, Through the Course of His Guitar, that's out now. So that's it.
All right, right on.
That's what's up, man. Like I say, bro, we appreciate your time. Man, y'all, everybody watching now, watching later, that's gonna listen on the podcast, keep an eye out in Saginaw. And I know my brother gonna keep growing. So you don't know where this might end or where it's gonna lead, because it's in him since, like he told you, elementary. Is life. That's the culture. It's something we do. You know what I mean? It's just born in us most of the time. We do these things, and this is a guy right here that you can learn from. So listen in, take what you can. If you're an entrepreneur out there, man, don't stop. He gave you some words of wisdom. Take it to heart, keep moving, keep going, and don't let nothing stop you. Throw it out. You know what I mean? So, and we're gonna get ready to end it on that note. Like I say, bro, we appreciate your time. Salute to you.
Salute to you too.
Man, salute to everybody that's watching, that watched, that comments, said, Becky, appreciate y'all.
What's up, Becky?
Everybody that shared. Yeah, no doubt. Shared, Two-Way Tay, Space Age, Clarence Abbey, India Brazy. Man, everybody in the Thawed Foundation, Arkansas, Michigan. Because man, we can't do this without y'all. So every time we see support, a lot of times it can't do nothing but go harder. So y'all are important, man. We love y'all. Salute to you, bro. You got anything you want to tell the people that's supporting you?
No, I appreciate y'all. For anybody that's ever supported me, even though people who don't, I appreciate y'all. Wish y'all nothing but the best. Godspeed. Keep rocking with us. Anything we can improve upon, let us know. And that's what it is. Kels.
That's what it is. And we're going to end on that note. Salute.